What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Live Game episode 92. This is the Average Man Talking Football. I'm your co-host Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Next up, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
Can you?
No, we can't. Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Yeah.
I said, say what up, Brian.
He can't hear us.
Oh, I can hear you now, so I have to turn the volume down.
Eddie Kane can't even get it right. Come on, Eddie.
That's what you give messing with the mute button. Right? You know you're messing with it.
I didn't mean to. I must have actually been sitting on top of it. I'm like, I heard Marcus go brr, brr.
And next up, we got a special guest tonight. We got LJ in the house. Say what up, LJ.
Hey!
Welcome.
Obviously, LJ has a bad choice in teams he supports, but we'll let him slide by with this one.
This guy. Super Bowl bound, baby.
So we had some good games last week, some upsets, some surprises, some surprising decisions made by some coaches. Brian is hosting tonight. Go ahead, start us off, Brian.
All right, guys. Again, thanks for joining us. We had a lot of, like Marcus said, good games going on last week. So we're going to start with the news of the week, and then we're going to flow right into these games that we talked about last week, and then pick the games that we have this week. So the first news of the week is on Saturday. NFL Network reporter Mike Garafolo reported veteran quarterback Cam Newton was vaccinated against COVID-19. On Sunday, Newton confirmed this story on his YouTube channel. So he's now vaccinated, and there are a lot of teams in need of quarterbacks. So, and I did hear that Seattle had given him a call already.
Really? Already?
Yeah.
All right, Marcus, you got the next story.
So notable injuries on Sunday include Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield his left shoulder, Kareem Hunt his calf, Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott calf, and 49ers cornerback, which is Sherman. Sherman will miss a couple of weeks. Hunt is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Prescott is out for the season, and Mayfield is Thursday against the Broncos.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Whatever.
You ain't funny.
Prescott in my eye was quote looking good, and they got a bye week, so he might be back. And Mayfield is out Thursday against the Broncos.
Yeah, let the Case Keenum revelation begin.
Oh Lord! Who the hell did I pick in that
game? We'll get to that in a little bit, but Herman, you got some news for us?
Yeah. So Matthew Stafford and the 5-1 Rams will face his former team, the 0-6 Lions. When they asked Stafford about facing his former team, he said, "It's just like facing any other team." But we know that's not the truth.
The biggest lie.
We know that ain't true.
Man,
we know that ain't true.
What are they playing at? They playing in Detroit or LA?
I'm not sure.
They're playing in Detroit.
Does it even matter? It honestly probably doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna get killed out there against the Rams.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Mark. What's the last news of the week we got?
Yeah, the NFL Power Rankings came out Tuesday, and it is as follows: the Arizona Cardinals, number 1, Buffalo Bills 2, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 3, Dallas Cowboys 4.
Pause. You said what was that one again?
The Dallas Cowboys number 4.
I
don't know how Go ahead.
Baltimore Ravens number 5, Green Bay Packers number 6, LA Rams number 7, San Diego Chargers number 8, Kansas City Chiefs number 9, and the Tennessee Titans coming up the rear number 10. You guys agree with those rankings?
I don't know about
It's
that.
the news. It's the news. This is not a discussion.
I would have put the Ravens before the Cowboys.
I just the only thing I don't like about it, I don't think the Chiefs should be in there. Be honest with you.
You know what? I agree with you on that one, Marcus. Brian. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs should be in there either. You're right.
Hey, let me ask you this: whose rankings are these? Is this the NFL or ESPN?
This is NFL Power Rankings.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that dude, Hansis, something.
And I don't know if the
Scott
Bucks should be
Hansen.
number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I was about to say. I don't know if the Bucks should be number 3. They got a lot of injuries and they just barely been skipping by.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
you can say that for the
Brady's-
Ravens too.
Yeah,
Except for against the Chargers, they blew them out. But
yeah.
the Ravens have been limping through some games too.
That's
I
true.
might put the Packers in front of the Ravens.
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
know
saying. I think the Packers and the Cowboys definitely have bigger games than the Bucks and the Ravens at this moment. Just at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this his first
I
Ravens?
would have put the Chargers before. I would have put the Chargers before the Bucks.
I would put the Chargers above the Chiefs, but I don't know about. I wouldn't have put them.
They were above the Chiefs. I'd have put them above the Bucks.
All right. So the next topic we're going to have is our hot topic of the week. So,
Hey Brian, can I just give you one more tidbit on something?
Absolutely.
Should we be putting the Titans ahead of the Bills then? After what happened on Monday?
No.
Nah.
No. We're not going that hard, but I mean that was for real. Bills gave that game away more than the Titans won it.
Thank you. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about
I don't
that.
know. The Titans look pretty good. I don't know about
They did.
We-
They did.
But Bills gave it to them.
The Titans be so up and down. Like next week they'll go and you'll be like, this ain't even the same team that just beat the Bills.
Yeah.
So
All right. So on to the hot topic of the week.
Mhm.
How do you guys feel about the NFL coaches going for it on 4th down all the time, including now in their own territory? Do you guys like them being aggressive, or are you more like the old school guys where, you punt the ball and you play it safe and you let your defense handle that? We're going to start this off with Mark. Mark, what do you think?
I really think it depends on the personnel you have and also the situation. Early in the game, I don't think it's probably too aggressive or too kind of crazy to go for it early in the game, to be honest with you. Because I think you give your opponent more ammunition or give them more momentum than what you should have. But in the case of we talk about the Bills and Titans, what your personnel are. Josh Allen can just fall for it and get half of a yard. It's just unfortunately the turf monster caught his leg and he couldn't get that momentum to push off. But I honestly think it's depending on the situation, not early in games, but definitely at fourth quarters. Because if in that particular game, if Tennessee got the ball, the chances are Derrick Henry was going to run them to death. He'd have had over 200 yards in rushing. They weren't going to get a chance to win that game if Tennessee would have won the kick. So I think in that situation, yes, but just not early. So it really depends on the situation and where you at in the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point, Mark, because, we had it in a few games. And in the Baltimore Chargers game, the Chargers went for it like twice deep in their own territory, and it bit them in the ass. And Baltimore took advantage of it, stopped them, and scored a touchdown every time they tried to do it. So they dug their hole so deep that their whole offensive game plan changed, and all they were doing now was trying to pass to try to get back in the game. Similar with the Dallas and the Patriots game, I felt when the Cowboys went for it early, although I was kind of for it, it kept the Patriots in the game. The Cowboys doubled the Patriots in offense. They were walking up downfield as they needed, but they let the Patriots stay in the game because of that play and then some poor plays down in the red zone. So I agree with you. It is more situational, but I do like it. I like the more aggressiveness. Most of the time when the coach is going for it, I say go for it because if you get it, you give your team such a momentum boost. But at the same time, if you don't get it, you give that other team a big jump. LJ, how do you feel about it?
A couple of different ways. Usually, the conservative philosophy of old smash mouth football, would say that you should punt it when it's in your own territory. However, biasly speaking, I've seen the Cowboys play so conservative on 4th downs, they never really gave themselves a chance to actually continue their momentum. So it was kind of refreshing in a sense, just in that particular game for them. But but there is analytics that also kind of support certain things too. I mean, we seen Philadelphia in 2017. They went for it on fourth on a lot of times and managed to, get it a lot of times on their way to a Super Bowl. So there is times where it works for you if you have the kind of offense where you have the matchup you want, you have the kind of team, that's going to beat the other team, and you got the momentum going. Then, giving yourself an early spark can probably get you down the field and into the end zone quick, get up on your opponent. That way you force them to play from behind. But yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't think they should be going for it as much as often as they are doing. But I do think it's good at times. And it keeps everybody honest, just, hey, we're going to see, that's the true measure stick. We're going to see if we can get these boys on fourth down or if we should play a little more conservative. And I would rather them do it early and understand where they're at than do it too late, and then it's either one and done. Either they do get it or they don't get it, and that's the ball game.
Yeah, because like you said in the game with the Titans, they could have just kicked that field goal and tied that game up and went in overtime, but they were trying to get out of there with that dub. So Herman, do you think these analytics? You think that the coaches are paying too much to the analytics, or you think that the old school way with old Jason Garrett was better?
I think you got to have a mixture of it. It has to make sense. I don't have a problem with it when the coach goes for it and it makes sense. And then also your play call when you go for it on fourth down. I'm gonna give you for instance, like I don't like going for it early in a game in your own territory. Okay, when you're at that spot where it's either punt or field goal, I have no problem with you going for it then. You shouldn't be going for it. I don't care how good your team is, honestly, or how good your offense is. I don't think you should go for it on your own 30, especially early in the game. What's the reason behind it? You're going to get momentum going in the game, eventually. I think that was was that the first drive Dallas did or second drive? I think that they did it on
first drive.
So first drive. No, it's no need for that. But if you're gonna do it, be consistent about it, okay? Because then you come down later on in the game and it's a fourth down and one, and you decide to kick a 40-something yard field goal when your kicker had missed it earlier. That type of coaching don't make no sense at all to me. Now, the Buffalo game, in my opinion, if I'm Buffalo, I'm kicking the field goal, I'm going to overtime. But at the same time, fine. If you want to go for it, go for it. But the play call, to me, no, you don't call a quarterback sneak. Okay, you got Josh Allen. He's a big boy. I get it. He should be able to get the quarterback sneak. But his left guard, was it the guard? Either the guard or the tackle got blown up, and he didn't stand a chance. My thought would be you put the ball in his hands, maybe roll the pocket, because you have two options. You have a run or a pass option with Josh Allen because he can run the football too. So for me, it was the play call more than it was that he went for it. Fine, you want to go for it, go ahead in that situation. But at the same time, call the right play. That quarterback sneak crap, nah, man, no.
What if it was the Tampa Bay and it was Tom Brady?
I definitely wouldn't have called a quarterback sneak.
Tom Brady's the king of the quarterback.
He is, but again, the thing is that all the defense needs is one thing to go right for them. And that's exactly what happened for Tennessee on that quarterback sneak. Now you kick the ball, you kick it and go in overtime. A lot of things have to happen right for the other team. So, my opinion, I would have kicked the field goal in that situation, but I don't have a problem with him going for it. I just think you should have had a better play call.
You don't think he was concerned of going in overtime with the way his defense was getting?
They weren't playing the best, but again,
look, if they lost the toy calls, that game probably would have been over.
It would have.
It may be, but you didn't even give yourself that chance. You showed your defense. You really had no confidence in them at all.
Yeah. Well,
so how does that affect your team going forward too?
True. But I mean, you don't come up against Derrick Henry against every team. So
that's true.
All right, Marcus, what do you think? This was your question, so what do you think?
I think it depends on the situation, but I will say this. I don't think the coach is looking too much at the analytics. I mean, the statistics don't lie. I believe you have to look at the situation. You have to look at your team. You have to look at your play caller. Like, I'll give an example. Up until last Sunday, the Chargers they were going forward and fourth down on time. They was getting them. And two teams in particular, my Washington football team and the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I was watching that game, and I'm thinking to myself, with the defense we have, why not go for it? They're gonna get it, and they got it every time they went for it. So I think the situation, and same thing with the Chiefs. They went for a couple times with the Chiefs, and they got it, and I knew they were going to get it because the defense is bad. And I feel like, no matter where you at, if it's like 4th and 1 or 4th and inches, I feel like you should be able to get that. It's an attitude. I'm going to assert my will over you. I'm going to get these inches, and you should be able to get it. Like I said, you play to win the game, and if you start off early with a lot of momentum and dominating your opponent and let them know we're not scared of you, I believe that's a good attitude to have. Now, as far as the Buffalo Bills game, I'm kind of like several paths on that. Like I understand why they did it because at that point, Derrick Henry was on a roll. They showed the stats. He really does his most work in the second half, and he was killing the second half. And I believe Mark was right.
In the first half.
He was really killing the second half. And I believe Mark is right that had they won the coin toss, it'd have been over for Buffalo. But also I can see the point where, I mean, you were right there. You kick that field goal. It's a tie. You have a chance to win the game. Now, it's only week 6. Buffalo is still favored to win the East. I mean, who's really going to knock them out? The only thing that might come back to affect them is it might cause them to miss a first round bye. But win or lose, which they did lose, I think it was a safe bet. I don't think that one game is going to hurt too much. It might. I don't know, but they're definitely going to win the AFC East. And like I said, the only thing they lost in that is maybe not getting a first round bye. But also, the Chargers had already lost. That was the competition. And I think I think it was a good decision. Now, as far as the Cowboys, if Mike McCarthy is the one calling for 4th down, I wouldn't put too much confidence in that for to go. But another coach is like, hey, if Kellen Moore is like, hey, we should go for the 4th down. But I don't think you can trust anything Mike McCarthy do.
Anybody ask you, Marcus?
Well, I told you. You did that. Matter of fact, you did ask me, sir. You specifically said, Marcus, what is your opinion?
I ain't asked you about the Cowboys. I asked you just in general. I asked you about the Bills. But yeah, you guys, I mean, it makes the game a lot better. I mean, it's more exciting. And, I ain't gonna lie, like whenever it's my team on defense and other teams going for it on 4th down, I'm dreading it. I'm like, come on now. We stopped y'all 3 downs. Punt that ball. But when it's the other way around, I get excited, and I enjoy it. So,
yeah, you kind of got to think, why is that, right? Is it because our defense is, bad on passing downs, or is it because, they might get gas, trying to stop that all, if the other team does get momentum.
Yeah, because Marcus was saying, if it's an inch, I think you should get it. But the first team I thought about was the Bucs with Vita Vea. And how much space that dude eats up, and you just cannot get an inch if you wanted it. I think about the Rams with Donald, similar. It's just tough. I mean, the game is inches. The whole game is inches. And if you're going to get it, if you're not going to get it, and sometimes I don't care how much wood you got, them dudes are just too big. You're just not going to get in that way.
Well, you know why? It's because when you line up in that jumbo package like that, and you go with that quarterback sneak. To me, the advantage is the defense has the advantage right there. They really do. But when you run a regular play or you disguise that like you're going jumbo and you're going to run the ball and you leak a tight end out or something like that, that's when you're successful.
Yeah, and then down at that end zone, it is a whole lot tighter. So there are less plays that you can run, successfully to try to get that inch. So, yeah. All right, good talk. Let's get into these games, guys. Let's get into these games. We're gonna talk about this Thursday night game, the 4-1 Bucks against those 2-3 Eagles. The Bucks won 28-22 Thursday night against the Eagles, but the score was not indicative of how close the game was. The Bucks were up 28.
Can you spell indicative, sir?
INDICATIV. Indicative. You want me to use it in a sentence again? The funny thing is, Herman, I did it in Google Docs. He knows there's spell check. Not that I can't spell it, but it's in the spell check. The Bucs were up 28-7 in the third quarter. The Eagles only mustered 213 total yards and were 30% on third down, while the Bucs put up 399 total yards, was 53% on third down, and they held the time of possession 39 minutes and 56 seconds to 20 minutes and 4 seconds. We'll go and see who picked this game first. We'll start with Herman.
So yeah, I picked the Bucs. Of course, the Eagles are trash. I mean, like you said, the score definitely was not. The game was not this close. Was not this close at all. Jalen Hurts, man, he can run the ball, but throwing wise, who's scared of him?
Nobody.
I'm putting like 8, 9 in the box. Let's go. Like you're not running on me. You better throw that football. But Tom Brady does what Tom Brady does. 34 for 42, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns. And they had a good run. They had the running game. Leonard Fournette had 81 rushing yards too. So they had it all clicking. And then their defense, they do what they do. Brown, man, I'm surprised. I didn't expect Brown to be. He's like the primary target this year, and I'm a little mad because
he sure is.
I got Godwin, and he's not doing anything on my fantasy team right now.
I haven't heard his name a lot
at all. So, yeah, the Eagles are trash. The Bucs are who we thought they were. They're not as good as everybody thinks they were gonna be, though. I think.
Who thought they was gonna be good besides the Eagles fans?
Everybody.
No, I'm talking about the Bucs.
The Bucs.
Yeah,
the Bucs. Their defense isn't quite holding up to what I think everybody was expecting. But I mean, Tom Brady's on the other side, so they have a little bit of leeway. But yeah, I picked the Bucs. I got it right. The Eagles are trash. Did I say that? Okay. Just want to make sure I reiterated that.
We understood that one. They trash.
Yeah, Herman, I was with you on this one too. I also went with the Buccaneers, and I do agree with you that the Eagles are trash. And there's so much trash that they're already talking about benching the rookie already for
he's not even a rookie.
What's his name? The young quarterback.
Yeah.
For what's his name?
Flacco.
I'm like, y'all are nuts.
Like, what's the point in that?
Right. Let the dude learn, let him develop, and figure out what you're going to do at the end of the season. Do not bench that kid. LJ, who'd you pick?
I picked the Bucs, of course. I think as soon as you gave me the picks, I think I gave you a reply back in like 5 seconds with the Bucs at the top. Little bit because I'm biased, but I try to take my bias out of it when I'm doing something like this, and quite frankly, just watching the Eagles over time, they don't utilize their run game at all. Just a couple weeks ago, we was talking about the Dallas versus Eagles game where they ran Miles Sanders just 3 times for like 3 yards or something. It was just like three times overall the entire game. They just ran the ball and the rest was all passes, and that was just a ridiculous stat to have, from a team standpoint. And with their head coaching problems, with the way they're shuffling through players, it just made sense that if you got a steady hand like Brady there, I'm gonna believe more into the Bucs than I am, any of the Eagles' fighting spirit that they're just going to overcome, their deficiencies. So I had to go with the Bucs. It just made sense.
Marcus.
Yeah, I also picked the Bucs, and I think an interesting stat in this game is that the Eagles only had 45 offensive snaps. That's not a lot at all.
It's not a lot in the offensive game.
Yeah, especially compared to with the Buccaneers. I didn't do the football, but they had like at least 80 or close to 90 snaps. So like double the snaps. So you look at the time possession, and like Herman said, that game wasn't nearly as close as that final score tried to be. You're just not going to win a lot of games. You only got 45 offensive snaps. That means they weren't converting a lot of third down conversions. They weren't on the field long enough. Defense was on the field too long. It's just not going to work out. And like God said, Eagles are trash, and I mean, I don't think anybody with any common sense would have picked the Eagles to win this game. So I picked the Buccaneers.
Yeah, they don't run the ball.
They don't, and they have 2 good running backs, and they don't run the ball. Not only that, but that would open up the play action and all that stuff, which could be an asset to the quarterback. But whatever, I don't care. I hope they keep running the ball.
Right.
All right, Mark. So since you're not wearing the Duns hat, we're assuming that you picked the Bucs
Yeah,
as well.
I was along with you guys. I took the Bucks on this one too, man. But you're right. Bucks were up at halftime, 21-7. So you was about ready to go to bed by the third quarter. That's for sure. Eagles came back and somewhat made a game, but only because the Bucks were back in it. But I think a lot of Jalen's problem is, man, he doesn't have chemistry with his young wide receivers, and I don't know what play calls they're calling. They're not running either the right routes or he's not reading the right play, one or the other. Because two of the interceptions he threw they weren't on the same page at all. So I mean, you can rack that up on being a young quarterback and still trying to learn, the offense and learn the defense and all. But they're just not on key right now as far as the wide receiver and Jalen. But you're right too, LJ. They need to run the ball. They got to find a way to get some more run plays in there to help balance out this offense for Hurts. Or you probably will see Flacco in there because he's gonna be running so much he's gonna get hurt. But yeah, I took the Bucks in this one, and I was right.
All right, so we're all right on that one. Now let's move into the Sunday game. We had a game that we thought was going to be a pretty good matchup. We had the Cardinals against the Browns. The Cardinals end up winning 37-14, and they outplayed the Browns up and down the field. The Cards scored on their first 5 plays, 2 touchdowns, 3 field goals, and didn't punt until the third quarter. 353 total yards, 53% on third down, and a time of possession of 34.39 seconds. All favored the Cardinals. Cleveland also allowed 5 sacks, turned the ball over 3 times. Marcus, who did you pick in this game?
I actually picked the Browns. I may have been believing the hype a little bit
Wait,
too much.
hey, where's your sound? Where's your sound?
What's that? That long.
Go ahead.
No, you definitely didn't lone wolf it.
Okay. Because I figured at some point the Cardinals were gonna have to lose the game. I thought that might be it, but the Cardinals. It's amazing to see this because if you watch college football like I do, even though I'm a big Cliff Kingsbury fan, I was surprised he got hired because while he had explosive offenses while he was the coach of Texas Tech, I think he always had losing seasons and he never had a good defense. And so I was just wondering, what was that about? And it seems to be working out for him. I mean, he comes in there, he gets rid of Josh, whatever his name is, and
Josh
drafts,
Rosen.
and drafts Kyler Murray. And low key, I didn't see this coming. They are loaded on offense. I mean, absolutely loaded, and the defense isn't bad either.
Yeah.
I mean, the way they have turned things around, I wish my team could take some hits from that because it's just amazing to see. And there's the Cardinals are the real deal. But I picked the Browns, and I'm highly disappointed. I expected a lot closer game. I thought the Browns would be a lot more competitive, but every year we try to hype with the Browns, and every year we seem to get a little bit disappointed. I just don't know what's going on. But I picked the Browns, and I lost.
Mark, who would you pick in this game?
I was with Marcus too. I took the Browns, man. Injuries were getting this team down, and Bakerfield wasn't quite yet. Eljo, just so you know, that's what Marcus referred to him last week. Is calling him. He was Bakerfield, but I don't know, man. I was disappointed on what I seen out of the Browns this particular game, and I thought they'd bring that run game to them. Chubb was hurt, so they only had half of the running tandem that they normally run with. But still, man, that offensive line, Cardinals jumped out on the early, and they were forced them to pass, and the pass wasn't happening today. Not in this particular game. But I took the Browns, and I lost this one too, just like Marcus.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. And Hunt got hurt in that game as well.
He did. Yep.
And then, of course, we all know that Baker. I'm sorry, what's his name again?
Bakerfield.
Bakerfield. He hurt his shoulder in that game. So, but you, like y'all said, man, the Cardinals are the truth, man. And that game was coached without the coach.
Yeah,
y'all know he was on
two of them.
COVID. So
two coaches that was going.
Yeah, so they had Vance Johnson. Vance Joseph. And coaching that game. And I did not see this coming. I actually picked the Browns as well. I thought that the Cardinals was due. I was like, man, they can't go, 5-0, 6-0, whatever. They're going to lose one. And I think the Browns have the ability to run the ball and do what they had to do. But I picked this one wrong like the rest of you guys did. Herman, who did you have?
The Browns, and I'm trying to figure out why. But yeah, I mean, we expected a lot more from the Browns this game, and I think one of the biggest things was Chubb being hurt, and then they lost Hunt. And I think it would have been. It would have been a different game had Chubb played, because they could have used that run game to keep that Arizona offense off the field. And the time they could have split the time of possession possibly. But Mayfield, Bakerfield got hurt. He's trying to tough out that shoulder injury, but he did come back into the game. But he at that point he's not as efficient as he could be. So yeah, I picked the Browns and got this wrong.
All right, Marcus, go ahead and play the music for LJ because he was the only one that picked the correct team. He's like, LJ, like, what are y'all doing? So, LJ, you are the smartest of the five. So go ahead and tell us why you picked the Cardinals.
Mainly because I'm a lot bigger believer into Kyler Murray and Cardinals as a team than I am Bakerfield and what he's done with the Browns. Point blank, I don't know if you guys remember the playoff game last year where the Browns had to go and face the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
But, or at least keeping pace with the Chiefs. I was over there telling Father, dude, Mahomes is going to lead this in because I don't believe Bakerfield has what it takes to live up to big moments like this in the NFL just yet. And he kind of almost proves that time and time again. When he's the underdog, he seems to overcome. But when the lights are on him, then he seems to crawl back, and it just doesn't happen. So I figured that the Cardinals drafted well. Baker and Odell did not have great chemistry, and they don't seem to have chemistry, which is also hampering their passing attack. So just seeing how that chemistry is, what's coming out of that camp, and seeing that the Cardinals are gelling, they got chemistry, guys are flying to the ball. They got great draft picks. Zaven Collins? We're hearing about him over there. It just felt like the Cardinals had the edge over here, even without Kiff Kingsbury there. Vance Joseph, he was the head coach for the Denver Broncos about a couple years, 2017, I think. And, so he's been in that position. So this wasn't like, some new fresh green guy just stepped in. He's a vet in that. So just made sense.
Yeah, it did. And then, we didn't even mention too, Odell got hurt in that game as well.
Yeah.
Not that he made a big difference.
I was going to say.
He got hurt as well. So they don't have him or the other.
We've been saying this for a while. They need to get rid of Odell. Baker plays so much better without Odell there.
He did.
I don't know what it is, but he plays so much better without Odell in the game. So, and just like LJ was saying, like I was saying last week, Baker, he's good when they're in the lead. They're winning. They got a nice run game. But you can't trust him to make a comeback.
Yes.
You can't trust him to make a comeback at all.
Yeah, there are a lot of quarterbacks he can, but he's not one.
Yeah, he needs that run game.
Oh,
he does. He definitely needs it.
Yeah.
His game is play action and all that other stuff. He's not the guy that's just going to just throw to get you back in the game.
Yeah.
All right, so the other big game that we were really excited to watch was the Chargers going to the Ravens. Man, but just like the Cardinals, the Ravens dominated from start to finish, putting up 327 yards with 187 of it on the ground. They were 54% on third down, held time of possession 38 minutes and 7 seconds to 21 minutes and 53 seconds. And the defense got 2 picks and 2 sacks. LJ, who did you have in this one?
I definitely had the Ravens in this one. You know, I was a firm believer in the Ravens. You know, if I wasn't a Cowboys fan, I am a Maryland native, PGC. So, you know, Ravens really would have been my second team if not for the Cowboys. But even with that aside, I like what Lamar Jackson is. And I've seen him up close and personal. I went to some Ravens games. I've seen not just the magic of him, but also the fact of the will and the character. There's some people who live to really play football and they play it at such a high level and they have a lot of intangibles that people can't really what's the word? They can't
measure.
It's they can't quantify. All right, they can't quantify it.
Hey, Brian, spell quantify, Brian.
Quantify. Now, if you ask me to do a math question, I might pause, okay? But I can spell, goddammit.
All right. I'm sorry, keep going, LJ.
So, yeah, he has a lot of intangibles that you can't quantify. You see a lot of these analysts trying to pigeonhole him into a category in a box. And you see why that doesn't work because he does work on his craft. There's some things there that I'm like, okay, I like this out of this quarterback, and he's going to keep the Chargers defense off balance, even with guys like Derwin James back there, and so them. Now, when it comes to the other side, on the flip side, you're looking at Justin Herbert, and you're like, man, that kid's got something special. You know how the Ravens defense going to stop that. But they did get a couple pieces back. Marlon Humphrey played a lot better this game than he did last game. Also, they got Chuck Clark back, which was a big difference. Well, Chuck Clark and Deshaun Elliott, they're 2 safeties. They didn't have that last game. And that started to be a big difference in what they were able to play with on the back end and let the rushers do their job. And that, you know, I just like what the Ravens was coming with this week. And I was like, I like this matchup. Give me the Ravens over the Chargers. I didn't think it was going to be this big of a blowout, but I did like the Ravens in it.
Yeah, you again was smarter than me, LJ, because I picked the daggone Chargers, man. I thought the Chargers was the hot team. I liked the Ravens and I liked the way they played, but I felt like it was all Lamar having to do everything and anything and create magic at these games to get these wins out. And I thought that his time was going to run out on the Chargers. I thought the Chargers were going to come in there, and I didn't think that the Ravens were going to be able to keep up with them score for score. I mean, even when I kept looking at the game, you know, watching it on Red Zone and stuff, I'm like, oh, okay, they're down. But, you know, the Chargers are going to come back. They're going to get it together. They never got it together. Never.
Hey, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. What was it? The last game, the Colts game? My fiance had to go to bed early on that game. She's a Ravens fan. She had to go to bed early. She was just like, I'm done because – they were down and out, and they just wasn't playing great football. I was like, all right, go ahead. You're going to miss this nice comeback later on. And I was saying that in the first quarter. So that just tells you where I was at mentally with the Ravens and what I think about them.
Yeah. I did not have that much faith in them. I had picked the Chargers, and I picked this one wrong. Mark, who did you have?
Yeah, I wasn't drinking the purple Kool-Aid on this one either, man. The Chargers. We talked about the Ravens. Their defense was impressive in this game, man. Just like LJ had said, they brought back some of the key players in the secondary. Humphreys played a lot better, like as you say, but their defense was on point. We talk about Lamar and his non-throwing. You can't. I couldn't tell in this game, man. He was whipping the ball and he was getting it downfield. The Chargers still has a good team. They just met up against the Ravens at the wrong time. They just caught them at the wrong time. And like I say, I took the Chargers in this one, and I'm eating crow.
And like Mark, some questionable fourth down calls in their own territory, huh?
Yeah.
Well, they've been very successful with the fourth downs up until last game. They've been very successful with them. They just came across a better defense. That's all.
Herman, who did you have?
Yeah, I went with the Chargers on this one too. The Chargers had been hot going into this game, and the Ravens had kept having to play, catch up and come back in the games they had won. They were squeaking by a couple games. I didn't see their defense slowing down the Chargers offense like that. But they did. They came out. They had 187 rush yards too. That's big. When you're rushing the ball like that, that means you're holding on to the ball too. So you're keeping their offense off the field. But Lamar didn't have the most impressive game. Not hating on Lamar or anything. Y'all know how I feel about the way the Ravens use Lamar. I don't necessarily care for the style of offense that they run with him because I want to see him have a long career. I want to see him have longevity, but he threw 2 picks and Chargers weren't able to really capitalize off of that. So the Ravens put people on notice with this game. I will say that because they were struggling with some lesser teams, but when they came up against one of the teams they were calling the best in the AFC, they smacked them in the mouth and they had no answer for it. But I picked the Chargers and I got that wrong.
Yeah, you're right about that, Herman, because that defense knocked Justin Herbert right out of the conversation about being an MVP.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Marcus, who did you have?
I also picked the Chargers. Even though I do drink the purple Kool-Aid, I just thought going into this game, the Chargers were red hot, on fire. Nobody could stop Justin Herbert, and that turned not to be the case. Like I said, Lamar, but if you go by the stats, he had a very pedestrian day. Matter of fact, not good at all. He only had 167 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Normally, that's a recipe for a losing game. That's just starting quarterback stats. But once again, their run game was on point. The defense was on point. I just don't understand how you're the Chargers. You got what's their running back name? Eckler. Eckler back there. And you only had 26 rushing yards.
6 carries.
Yeah, 26. I mean,
because they got down so deep.
Eckler only had 7 yards.
Yeah,
they got down though. They had to get rid of the running game.
Yeah,
but how many catches did Eckler have?
How many catches did he have?
Eckler had 4
for
48 yards.
He's normally big in the catch game too. So.
Yeah, Keenan only had 5. Mike Williams only had 2. It was just wasn't like the Ravens defense was on point, and they always find some way to win. I'm beginning to think they're a very well-rounded team. Because we say it all depends on Lamar. I don't know if that game depended that much on Lamar. The defense stepped in. They just always find a way. A couple of weeks ago, when what's the dude's name? Justin Tucker. That's the kicker's name.
Justin Tucker.
Yeah, Justin Tucker. He made that special teams. He made a kick nobody else should have made. They just some we just talked about the Browns how special. Something's going on special with the Ravens right now, and it's just amazing to see that they're on fire right now.
Yeah. Keep in mind the Chargers only lost to 2 teams. Those 2 teams are the ones I'm wearing in the Ravens.
Look, Herman, I'm so dumb. I'm like, who was the other team?
but it goes to say, what everyone thought about the Chargers, and so if you think so highly of the Chargers, that should tell you something about these teams that have been able to overcome them.
True. All right, so the next game was on Sunday, was the Raiders versus the Broncos. And with all the turmoil swirling around the Raiders last week, you think the team would have came out unfocused. Well, they were up in this game 31-17 late in the third quarter, end up winning 34-24. The Raiders put up 426 yards of offense, and the defense chipped in with 3 interceptions and 5 sacks. Herman, who did you have in this game?
I thought with all well, you know what? When we picked this, Gruden, he had been fired because it was Monday night. He got fired.
He'd been fired.
Yeah.
He'd been fired.
So with all the turmoil, I expected the Broncos to win this one, and they were at home. So I picked the Broncos in this, but David Carr really stepped up in this game. He was 18 for 27 for 341 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now you compare that to Teddy Bridgewater, who was 35 for 49 with 334 yards and 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, it's a 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
But it's crazy though that Carr put up 341 yards off of 27 attempts, and Bridgewater put up 334 yards off of 49 attempts.
Yeah, they got down in that game and they ended up just throwing again.
Hey Herman, that's easy when you're not throwing the ball to the opposite team.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a crazy stat to me. But I expected more out of the Broncos. I don't know. Bridgewater 3 picks. That's they were down already, but that's going to kill you. But the Raiders stepped up, and you know what? The Raiders might. Everybody thinks they're going to have a problem after John Gruden, but they honestly might be a problem to teams now because Rich Bisciotti, I think is how you say his name, the special teams coach who took over the interim coach. He was a Cowboys special teams coach, if I'm not mistaken.
He was,
and they loved that dude when he was in Dallas. The players love him. And they're going to rally around him. Don't be surprised to see the Raiders mess around and win the division. Remember, I said it first.
The Chargers first.
Oh, no. Yeah, not over Chargers. I'm sorry. They might come in second place. I forgot the Chargers in that division. I'm thinking about the Chiefs. Yeah, I don't know about the Chiefs no more, man. I've been trying to ride that wagon and think they're going to upright that ship, but I don't know. But, yeah, I picked the Broncos.
Just remember I said it.
So, LJ, who did you have in this game?
I had picked the Broncos. Once, this is one of the just started my down streak. I had the Broncos before Gruden got fired. I kind of like what the Broncos had going. I feel like they are immensely talented across the board. I'm not really. Their quarterback's Teddy Bridgewater, right? Yeah, I'm not overly confident in Teddy Bridgewater about, just in anything in general. It's just, I don't know. I just thought that with their momentum, I thought that they'd be a little bit better with the passing weapons they have, with the defense that they have, just overall. And I thought the Gruden, I just didn't like what was there with the Gruden thing even before the fire, and I just thought that was going to mess the Raiders up and really blow their chances at making a good run. So this is probably the only one I would circle on trying to have back because I really do think without Gruden there, the Raiders will make a nice run. We'll probably end up in the playoffs. But yeah, I don't have too much of a take. I just thought the Broncos looked better at that time.
Marcus?
Yeah, I also picked the Broncos because much like you guys, I thought it was going to fall apart once Gruden has left. I was actually very shocked to see him come out and do what they did. I just wonder that, if they wind up, being successful, winning the division, going to playoffs this season, will John Gruden take credit like he took credit for that Super Bowl he won Tampa Bay, even though we know it was Tony Dungy's team. Yeah. So, I picked the Broncos, and I was wrong.
Mark,
look like I'm riding the third, and I'm coming home with the same scenario. I thought the Broncos would be successful in this one. I thought the Gruden ordeal would bring this team down. Looked like it may rejuvenize Carr. I think Carr may be out to say that he can do better without Gruden than with him. But yeah, Teddy and the boys let me down. I didn't think they were lit. They did. I took the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish this one out too. I also chose the Broncos, and again, I just with like LJ was saying, of all this turmoil. I mean, they had just played the Bears that Monday night, and Gruden was there, and they got smacked. Well, they didn't get smacked, but they got beat by the Bears, and we know how good the Bears are. Anyway. So I just knew when they came up. Yeah. So I just knew when the Broncos came up, that they were going to travel to the Broncos. The coach got fired. I just thought it was just going to be just too much for them, but they rallied as a team. I mean, and like Herman said, Bisaccia got them going, and they got two veteran coaches.
You all right over there, Herman? You okay? Okay.
Good.
All right, good. Go ahead.
So I picked the Broncos, and I picked this one wrong. And man, my hats off to the Raiders, man. That was a good win.
I muted myself to not interrupt Brian, not for you to interrupt him.
Well, hey, look, hey, well, you did the first time you did it, so I was making sure.
All right, so the Sunday night affair was the Seahawks versus the Steelers. It seemed like the Wilson-less Seahawks were going to go on a roll.
The who?
The
The who?
The Wilson
No,
less.
no, that's Kirk Russell. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, the Kurt Russell less. Seahawks were
Got some
going to
haters.
roll over
Got some real haters.
and not put up a fight like Sunday night against the Steelers. The Steelers took a 14-0 lead into halftime. But the Seahawks came alive in the second half, tying the Steelers 20-20, and the game went into overtime. A costly fumble by Geno Smith secured the Steelers' win. Pittsburgh did good, man. They put up 345 total yards, and they won the time of possession, 37 minutes and 33 seconds. Herman, who'd you have in this game?
So I picked the Steelers in this one. I knew that the Seahawks were going to struggle because without Russell Wilson, they were going to have, have issues. The thing that I had a problem with though with Seattle was they were way too conservative with some of the play calling with Geno Smith. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I get that Geno is the backup quarterback, but Geno Smith's been in the league for a while now. Okay,
9 years.
Yeah, and when he came into the game last week when Russell got hurt, I mean, he played good. He had command of the team, and he played good. You could see the conservative calling. I mean, it was like 2 handoffs and a pass, and then at that point, it was 3rd and 12. You were setting him up for failure at that point. So I think a lot of the play calling is what got Seattle into trouble. And on the Steelers side, it was funny to me how Mike Tomlin was whining and crying to the refs about the last challenge that came down from the booth. It was going to be a second left on the clock anyway for him to kick the field goal. Your home clock management person just let the clock run out. And everybody knows that the clock that you watch on TV is not the official clock. So all that whining and crying that the Steelers did, man, get out of here with that crap. I don't want to hear that mess. So I picked the Steelers, and you could tell that's how you know they was desperate for that win because they was whining and crying about the clock and the review. Did I mention that they was whining and crying, Mark?
Sound like a lot of hate. Sound like a hater.
So
I can't wait for y'all next loss. Go ahead.
And I got it right.
Marcus, who did you have in this game?
I picked the Steelers because like most teams, once your starting quarterback goes out, it's all downhill from there. And even though Geno Smith has been in the league for 10 years, there's a reason why he's the backup, and he can't replicate what Russell Wilson brings to the Seahawks. So for me, it was an easy pick, and I picked right.
Mark.
Yeah, I took the Steelers in this one. I just think the Steelers let them off the rope. This game shouldn't have came down to going to overtime. To be honest with you, they jumped up 14-0 on it, and they kind of held back on the offense. To be honest with you, the call at the end, yeah, I kind of agree with you a little bit, Herman, with it. I mean, it was
it was whining and crying.
It wouldn't. I mean, it didn't matter. It didn't really matter. But I think the Steelers won it, but I'm not. I'm happy that they won, but I'm not happy on how they won it. To be honest with you, and I agree with Mike Tomlin. He said it's kind of embarrassing win. To be honest with you, but I took the Steelers and they were successful, so I'm happy.
Whining and crying.
Shut up.
I was with you guys. I also picked the Steelers, and I mean it wasn't the prettiest game, and I did expect more from the Steelers defense, but I mean you got to give it to Watt. I mean Watt did play a hell of a game. He was the AFC Defensive Player of the Week because of the sack fumble to get the Steelers in the field goal range to win that game in overtime. So I picked the Steelers, and I picked it right. LJ, who'd you have?
I was the one person who did pick the Seahawks. Mine came rapid fire. Like I said, I gave it to you like right away. I wasn't even thinking about Wilson being out. That probably would have impacted my pick just a little bit, but I'm gonna still say that I would have stuck with it simply because I'm sorry, Mark. I'm not a big believer in the Steelers this year. I just don't think that they're
Neither
gonna
am
have.
I.
What's up?
I said, neither am I.
Yeah. But much to what Herman said, you think about it's like, well, Geno Smith, he's been he's a grizzled vet. He's been there 9 years. He should know how to operate an offense, and to see them come out as conservative, I mean, Seahawks really could have won this game that they probably had no business winning, but it was just one of those. They kind of held themselves back. And, I've seen it more than enough times of Dallas of holding yourself or shooting yourself in the foot to know that, wow, you're not even like giving yourself a chance to win this. And so I think the Steelers did escape with a good play. TJ Watt is a monster. We all knew that for a few years now. And credit to that Steelers defense. They got to stop when they needed to stop also to make this win. But yeah, I got that one wrong. I really don't see the Seahawks winning too many games without Wilson.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get my music on the last one though. What happened to
that? All right, so this last game was the Monday night game, which was the Bills against the Titans. And we kind of talked about this one earlier when we were having our hot topic.
Jesus.
What?
No, he got the graduation cap on.
Oh, God.
You see, he don't know how to wear it because he don't wear it at all.
It's been so long since he graduated.
Look, it don't fit my big head. That's why.
He graduated like in 1931. He don't get
Nonetheless, in this game, I mean, I picked the Bills. I picked this one wrong. I got to give it to the Titans. I got to give it to them. I did not anticipate the Bills' defense being such a sieve and letting Derrick Henry run up and down the field at will. They said that dude was running like 21 miles an hour on that 76-yard touchdown. Yeah. And, I mean, he was – but the dude don't look like he's that fast. But he is moving. I mean, he's still running, and the DBs are just getting further and further behind. But nonetheless, I picked this one wrong. I picked the Bills. Congratulations to the Titans. Marcus, who did you have?
I also picked the Bills. Like you just said, it was a great game. It was probably one of the best games of the weekend.
Yeah.
And it could have went a different way if Sean McDermott had decided to kick that ball, but he didn't. And so I picked the Bills, and I picked wrong.
LJ.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I picked wrong. The Bills look like a hot team, much like the Chargers. They look like a team that's legit, and they probably will be in the playoffs. And like you said, Marcus, they're going to run away with the AFC East. There ain't, nobody's catching them. But, in this game, it's just one of those times where, a team matches up well with another team that's good, and they get beat by and much to say, it's that Derrick Henry factor. I joke on my own personal Facebook feed that Derrick Henry is like he's built for night football. I don't care if it's Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night. He is built to just run the rock and watch people get stiff-armed all over the place.
Yeah.
And he had a stiff arm that game too.
He did.
It just warms your soul in here.
It's funny. Like the pregame, they had like a conversation on how to stop the stiff arm from Derrick Henry.
Don't make the tackle. That's don't make that business decision. That's how you stop.
Right, and that's right. So,
the biggest thing is like you're supposed to swat the hand, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, funny enough, I was talking to my fiance, and I had picked the Bills, and she was like, "Well, I'm picking the Titans." I'm like, "Why are you picking the Titans?" It's like there ain't no rationale behind your pick, but as they say, a woman knows best. So I should have went with that, but yeah, I picked the Bills because they were on a hot streak, but they ran into their match. Tennessee had the right answers at the right time, and I did not know that Derrick Henry gets going like in the second half. I knew he was doing some damage, but man, to see those stats, you better stop him first.
Herman.
Yeah, I picked the Bills on this one too. You know, they were the hot team going in, and Tennessee had been struggling a little bit. But I think the formula that they had when Ryan Tannehill only throws about 30 times, he was 18 for 29, 216 yards. He didn't even throw a touchdown. He had one pick, but Derrick Henry running the ball for 143 yards. That's just hard to win against that. And Buffalo's defense they had no answer for it. They really didn't. So, I picked the Bills. I got it wrong.
Yeah, Herman. And then, on that passing note, he finally had AJ and
Julio
in that game.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus, play the damn music.
Hold on, I gotta find it. Where that? Actually, I think I lost it. Where'd it go?
Oh, good. Music tonight.
Yeah, just start talking, Mark. Never mind.
Hold on. Where the hell did it go?
Did you smile like that for your real graduation picture?
Oh, there you go.
Once again, I'm wearing a cap. Hey, I took these Tennessee Titans and King Henry. Boy, this game was so good. It had 7 lead changes, 7 different lead changes in this game. But Bills kind of really gave it away. Right in the fourth quarter, after Titans had scored, they went on a long drive to score. The Bills got the kickoff, ran it back 101 yards for a touchdown, and they would have had the lead. But yet they got called back because they had a holding call that brought everything back. But they still ended up getting down to the drive. On that same drive, Josh Allen was trying to get loose and was running the sidelines, and he had Cole Beasley back in the corner end zone. If he didn't make that play, we may be talking about a different scenario. I may not have been wearing this cap. But the Titans came out good. King Henry ran the ball like the king should, and I'm wearing the cap again, y'all.
They talking about that dude like crushing like the 2,000 rushing yards this year, like 20.
Well, because of the extra game that we have, chances are you can. But for me, this is me. You might have to put an asterisk next to that, saying that hey, this is a 17-game season, not the regular 16 or 14 before.
Well, do you put asterisks on the people that breaking it when the other teams were playing 14 games? And
this is new now. 17 games. It's the regular.
I don't buy it. I don't like it.
But don't forget this little conversation too. You have a passing league, and he's doing this, and he's running in this kind of league and breaking these kind of records. To go 2K and what this would be. What was it? Would this be back-to-back seasons? Or is this would
I know he won the title last year, but I don't know how many.
I don't think he had 2. I don't think he
had 2 last year. The year before that, I think he did.
Yeah. So if he was able to do this in a rushing league this consistently, in a passing league this consistency, you got to tip your cap off to him.
Yeah. Well, no, he did. He had 2,027 last season.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
There's no asterisk on that.
In a league like this,
Yeah, there's no asterisk on that. I don't like it. I'm not buying that.
Yeah, because I bet if Ben was in the running for the most passing yards in the NFL, you know asterisk win.
Right.
Ain't no different if you saying that if Dak was in it, so be quiet.
Oh yeah, I ain't talking about no asterisk though. You the one with the asterisks.
Can I wear the hat for the rest of the show?
Marcus, do you want me to spell asterisk? All right, we've been running our mouths a little too long. We're a little over our time frame, so we're gonna go through these picks pretty quick. Okay, you don't gotta say a whole lot, unless it's something really important. But we're basically gonna talk about the game, and you give us your pick. Okay, so we're gonna start with the Thursday night game coming up tomorrow. The 3-3 Browns.
What was the results from last week?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was 3-3 last week. What was everybody else?
3-3.
2-4.
2-4.
LJ, what were you? 3-3. Okay, so we all did terrible. I'm glad you didn't go with our money because y'all would have lost money. All right. Again, the Thursday night game, the 3-3 Browns versus the 3-3 Broncos. Vegas actually has it at -4 when I did this, but I'm sure that line has changed since the notice of Baker Mayfield not playing. We got the 8th-ranked defense of the Browns versus the 2nd-ranked rushing offense of the Broncos. I'll go ahead and start this one off. Give me the Broncos. Marcus, who you got?
Actually, I just changed my pick. I wasn't going to Browns, so I'm going to go to Broncos. No Baker Mayfield. Kareem Hunt's out. I do believe Chubb is back. Is he
I don't
back
think Chubb's back.
No, I don't think he's back.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely the Broncos. I'm going to Broncos.
LJ?
Yeah, I gotta go Broncos also. It's hard. It's hard, but I gotta go Broncos.
Mark?
Broncos.
Herman?
Broncos.
All right, we all agree with the Broncos. Sunday. The 4-2 Bengals at the 5-1 Ravens. Now, this game is actually could be for the AFC North.
AFC North
type. The Ravens are giving up 6.5 in this game. You got the 11th ranked offense of the Bengals versus the 4th ranked offense and 4th ranked rushing offense of the Ravens. Who do you got in this one, Herman?
I'm going with the Ravens.
Marcus?
We're drinking the purple Kool-Aid. I'm going with the Ravens.
Mark?
I'm also drinking the purple Kool-Aid, the Ravens.
LJ?
I like what the Bengals are doing over there. I think they're going to have some success, maybe even a wild card, but I'm definitely taking the Ravens.
Can I get my music, please, Marcus?
You a damn lie.
Can I have my music, please, Marcus?
No, he ain't.
I like that Joe Burrow. I like that wide receiver they drafted. I think the Ravens are due for a loss. I like the Bengals to pull up the upset.
Wow.
No. Okay.
Right. Next game, Sunday. We got the 3-3 Chiefs against what are the Titans' records now?
4-2.
4-2. Thank you. No, they ain't 4-2.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 4-2.
That was in the rundown.
All right. Chiefs are giving up 4.5 in this one. The Chiefs are giving up 4.5 in this one. Second-ranked passing offense of the Chiefs versus the third-ranked rushing offense of the Titans. Mark, who you got?
King Henry and the Titans.
Herman?
I'm rolling with the Chiefs.
LJ?
You know, I said I do believe Chiefs are going to come back and get that AFC West, but I like the Titans in this game. Much to do with the Chiefs defense, who is like ranked second to last.
LJ, I agree with you. I think that the Chiefs defense is a sieve, but so is the Titans, and I think the Chiefs get back on track. Give me the Chiefs.
No,
Marcus,
I'm
who
saying
you got?
I'm picking the Titans. I'm picking.
Yeah,
the Titans.
I know. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
But I agree with what you said. I disagree with who's going to win. I think the Chiefs are going to win this one.
All right.
I can't believe I'm making this pick, but Chiefs defense is garbage. King Henry's gonna run all over them. I'm going with the Titans.
All right. So the next Sunday game we got are this is a terrible game.
Yeah,
The 1-4 Jets versus the 2-4 Patriots. So basically, this game is going to be who's going to get the number one pick.
Have the Jets had a bye week already?
Draft.
Have the Jets had a bye week already?
Yeah, they're back.
Yeah.
They had a bye
because
week
they
last
came
week.
from
Okay.
Patriots actually giving up a touchdown in this game. You got the 7th-ranked defense of the Jets. The 7th-ranked defense of the Jets versus the 18th-ranked defense of the Patriots. Marcus, who you got?
I'll go ahead with the Patriots. I mean, it is the Jets, and they did give the Cowboys a good run. So I don't think the Patriots are that good, but I'm going to the Patriots.
Mark?
The Pats, Patriots.
Herman?
Give me the Patriots.
So y'all could go ahead and play my music again, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm picking the Jets. The Jets, Jets.
He just wants. He's trying to wear the hat. He's so desperate to wear one of them hats.
I didn't like that. I don't think the Patriots are a good team. I don't think that they have the offense, and I think with this number 7th ranked defense, I think they're going to keep them slow. I think it's going to be a close game, but for some reason, I just feel the Jets in this one. LJ, who you got?
Whatever.
Man, it's kind of hard because I'm kind of leaning that way. I think they circled the Cowboys on their calendar, and they knew they could probably make a name if they played them well. But something about the Jets just seem like Zach Wilson he's going to get a win. But I just don't like it because it is the Jets. So
and y'all remember too, the Patriots almost lost to the Texans.
Yeah, I know. But give me the Pats. Give me the Pats.
All right. So we got Marcus on. What is he doing? Is he throwing up or something?
I'm still here.
Okay. All right, we got Sunday night. We got the 2-4 Colts versus the 2-3 49ers. The 49ers are actually giving up 4 points in this game. You got the 14th ranked Colts offense versus the 2nd ranked 49ers defense. In this one, I'm going with the 49ers. LJ, who you feel?
I like the 49ers where they're at, but I like the Colts even better. I think their defense the Colts defense is for real. And I do think Carson Wentz is at least playing at a better level, a little higher level than we're used to seeing. So I don't like the 49ers QB situation right now.
Yeah, that's very true. Although Garoppolo may be coming back this week, but that doesn't make anything any better. Mark, who you got?
I'm taking the Colts in this one also.
Herman?
I'm rolling with the 49ers on this one. They're coming off the bye week. I think if Lance plays, he'll have more reps with the starters in practice. I'm going with the 49ers.
And Marcus?
I'm also going with the 49ers. I think this will be a good game. This game could go either way. The Colts, they showed me a lot last week, but I'm going with the 49ers.
All right, Mark, you're going to howl on that one, buddy.
Come on.
All right, final game we're picking is Monday night. We got the 3-2 Saints versus the 2-4 Seahawks. Saints are giving up 3.5 in this one. You got the 4th ranked Saints defense versus the 20th ranked Seahawks offense. I don't think this one's going to be a contest. I think the Saints walk away with that dub. Who do you think is going to win, LJ?
Obviously the Saints. No Wilson, no chance for me.
Herman?
I'm gonna change my pick. I was gonna go with this. I was gonna go with the Saints, but I'm going with the Seahawks. Because you know what? I don't trust Jameis Winston. Bottom line.
That is actually that sound.
Yeah, I mean that's as good logic as any.
Yeah.
Marcus?
I don't blame you, Herman.
I'm gonna go with the Saints. I just feel like Seahawks without Kurt Russell, they just won't be able to win the game.
And Mark?
Saints also, Marcus. I'm with you.
All right, let's hear that howl, Mr. Triplet.
Oh.
All right, so look, y'all need to tune in next week because somebody's gonna be wearing the Genius hat, and a lot of us are gonna be wearing the Dunce hat. You can't see it because of the daggone thing. But thanks, Herman, that didn't do that till you started doing it.
Well, hold it in front of your shirt, maybe you can see it. There you go. Yeah, just don't hold it up where the green screen gets to it.
It's still doing the same thing.
All right, so we're going to end the show with a final thought from each of the guests. My final thought is just to thank LJ for joining us, man. You really made the show great. We had a good time. You made a lot of flair, a lot of good points in the game. I really appreciate you joining the show with us. And let's give him a round of applause, guys.
Absolutely.
Mark, what's your final thought?
Same thing here, LJ. We appreciate you being here. We enjoyed you. My final thoughts is this week has been kind of funny for me. Not to get into too much detail. I just want everybody to be safe and just enjoy life. That's all.
Okay.
Very, very vague. We're going to ask you about it when the show goes off, so I don't know why you.
Herman?
Yeah, thanks again, LJ, for joining us. Appreciate you being on the show. My final thought is the time is always right to do what's right.
Oh, Jesus.
Did we say we weren't gonna do that this week?
I guarantee he had Chinese food for dinner tonight. I guarantee it. LJ, do you have a final thought?
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you, fellas, for having me on. Look forward to being on again at some point. I hope. I definitely love what you guys are doing here. Definitely want to be a part of it in any form or fashion that I can. So much appreciated you. Thank you, especially Brian, for giving me that opportunity and helping me be part of this great team you got here. My final thought, I guess if we're going with the cliches, hey, whatever's done in the dark will come out into the light. I feel like that's been the going theme right now this week for me.
Oh, hey, look, that is very true, especially with these emails and stuff coming out.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, yeah, that is very poignant.
Yeah.
All right, Marcus, let's hear your final thoughts.
Like everybody else, I just want to thank LJ for coming out. It was a pleasure having you here. He'll probably never see this, but if you ever do, hey, Jackson Mahomes, I'm a huge fan of your brother. He's always welcome to the DMV, even if he is coming here to beat my team. Your DMV pass has been revoked. It's no longer good. Don't bother coming back. There's nothing here for you, bro. So, before we got here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. I didn't do this in the beginning. Why you ain't tell me something? Why you ain't tell me that? We also on Facebook and our Facebook group at the Live Game.
Marcus, this only the like the 93rd episode
Yes,
show.
Yeah,
So,
100 is coming. It's
Right.
coming
so
up.
I mean,
We're also on Twitter at the Live Game 3, and you can also excuse me catch us on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We will see you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.
hey, what are you fixing? Jay.